Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Blue Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight is my co-host Hefty Duck. And as always, we invite people to come on the show. So if they come, that's cool. If not, there's always next time. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about the Blue Jackets signing Damian Hunt and Mikael Pyyhtia to one-year deals. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what Adam Fantilli'S next contract could be. Because starting this past July, the Blue Jackets can now start negotiating a contract with Adam Fantilli. So, what's going to go on there? We're going to take our best guess on what we think the contract could be. And if Hartsey comes on the show, there's some hockey jersey concepts that he wants to talk about. But only if Hartsey comes on. If not, there'll be some other show when he can come on. But and we got so much more, tons of other stuff to talk about. So welcome to the show, everyone.
Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a good week this last week. Here in Ohio, it's been I'm a little bit northeast of Columbus, but here in Ohio, it's been very warm. But it's a really nice day out today, anyway. What a summer it has been. So nothing major hitting the. Oh yeah, I should do this too. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or wherever you're watching from. If you're watching us on Twitter, X, check us out. Check out our other socials. We don't post too terribly much. Twitter is our biggest platform right now, but yeah. Hit the buttons wherever you're watching from. I need to go make a Twitter post for this too. I kind of forgot.
Yeah.
Oops.
And one last thing before we get going, I'll say it now and I'll say it at the end of the show. Don't forget to join the next March of the Union Army by Union Blue Soldiers on Monday, October 13th, 2025, R-Bar, 6 o'clock p.m. Join Union Blue Soldiers with your fellow Blue Jackets fans as we march on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets.
Hell yeah, it'll be a fun night, and that kind of can lead us into one of our first little topics for today. One of the news items for this week is the Blue Jackets released their their theme nights or their promotional calendar, and home opener, as many of us are aware, it's going to be a Monday, October 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern against the Devils. And that day, they're going to have scheduled magnet available while supplies last, according to the Blue Jackets website. A couple that I'm really interested in. Also, disclaimer, we have no affiliation with the Blue Jackets themselves. We make nothing off this. I'm our only sponsor. We don't. This is just because we like them. Anyway, so something I'm looking forward to. So there is a celebration game. There's going to be 5 celebration games throughout the season. There's going to be one in October, one in November, December, one in January, and then one last one in March. And at each of one of these, they're going to have a special player appearance from present or past Blue Jackets. Probably past, since it's during the game, I'd imagine. Yeah. And one thing I'm really looking forward to, because if many of you remember from last year's March and home opener, I was passing out a bunch of hockey cards. So this year we're gonna have Upper Deck collectible card set. 1 of 5 will be in October, and in each following celebration game, you're gonna get a new Upper Deck collectible card set for a total of 5 of those. So that's one I'm looking forward to. Do you got any that you're looking forward to, Kev?
Yes, actually I do. I'm going to share this little slide that I made here, which is for as long as I can remember, the Blue Jackets have been having a Ohio State night. For as long as I can remember, and I've been following the Blue Jackets since 2009, and just about since every time since 2009 that I can remember, the Blue Jackets have had an Ohio State night. And I like it because it's cool. And when you have the two big dogs in Columbus, the two big names in Columbus that come together and show support for each other, that's cool. And I like that. I like it when Ohio State shows support for the Blue Jackets, and I like it when the Blue Jackets show support for Ohio State.
Same with
Usually,
the Crew.
yeah, yeah.
I like when the Crew and them do things.
Yeah, like how the Blue Jackets and the Crew, they do a lot of stuff together. That's cool. So I like how when Ohio State supports the Blue Jackets, that's cool. And when the Blue Jackets support Ohio State, that's cool too. I like that. Now, over the years, basically what it usually is that you have like the Ohio State band there and they play some music during the game, which is cool, just like what they did at the outdoor game this past March. That was cool. So that, they play a little bit of music. And then, Brutus, who is the Ohio State mascot, he'll be there. And they usually have some other representative from Ohio State that is there, and like you can get your picture taken with like Brutus, and there's a bunch of other stuff that they do during the game. The most recent Ohio State night at the Blue Jackets game was this past season. It was January 16th, 2025. And the Ohio State band was there, and Brutus was there, and there's other stuff there too. But the big thing about that is that was the day when the Blue Jackets revealed to the world what their outdoor game jersey would look like, and it was revealed at the game. That was your first look to see it. If you were at that game, that was your first chance to see it in person, because Stinger was wearing it, and then Brutus comes out and he's showing off the jersey as well. So Brutus helps Stinger, show off the new outdoor game jersey. And that's that. I like this when you have the two big names in Columbus, the Blue Jackets and Ohio State, coming together to support each other. It's cool. I like that. And I have actually been to a Ohio State night at a Blue Jackets game. It was March of 2018. It was really cool. Cool to see the Ohio State band there and Brutus and a bunch of other stuff. And that was cool. And, the Blue Jackets won that game. And one last thing about the Ohio State night that the Blue Jackets just had this season. Not only did they have Brutus there and the Ohio State band there that was playing music during the game, you revealed what the new outdoor game jersey for the Blue Jackets was going to look like. I'll always laugh at this because this is like a once in a lifetime thing that will probably never happen again, because this is something that you need it to be where everything goes right. And in this case, it did, which is this. On Ohio State night, the Blue Jackets had, their Michigan guys score goals, and that would be Adam Fantilli and Kent Johnson. And then Zach Werenski, who also played at Michigan, he assisted on one of those goals. So I just kind of laughed at that. You have an Ohio State night at a Blue Jackets game, and then you have the Blue Jackets Michigan guys, and they play good and they score goals, they assist on a goal. And it's actually, that's a big reason why the Blue Jackets won that game against the Sharks, because Zach Werenski, Kent Johnson, and Adam Fantilli had a good game that day. So I just think that's kind of funny that you have an Ohio State night at a Blue Jackets game, and the Blue Jackets Michigan guys have a good game because of that, and it's the reason why they win that game.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. I got a little bit more about the theme nights yet. Whenever you want to
Okay,
move on.
you can
Okay,
put yours up on the screen.
so I have not looked into this any more than just what the website here. This is the NHL.com/Blue Jackets website. All right. I've not looked into this any more than this, but it appears that there may be a new military appreciation jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And let me show you this, because this is something that like we've specifically talked about. And okay, so look at it might be a little bit hard to see here.
Oh yeah, we can.
But
Can you zoom in on it with your screen?
hold on.
Yeah,
Okay,
look
so
at that.
military appreciation package. Now, let me give you a couple details about this. This is going to be
Oh,
Wednesday, January
banger.
27th, 7 p.m. This is going to be against the Flyers. So maybe Gold Hearts can come in or something like that and watch a game with us or something. Anyway, so the military appreciation jersey is only available with the purchase of the special ticket package. But look at this jersey.
Oh yeah,
It
banger.
literally looks like a Union Blue soldier uniform. It's got like
Yeah,
I'm sure it's just like stitching or something, but it's like buttoned down to the belt,
yep.
and it got the patch on the front. It's the Union Blue, and the belt's like a lighter blue, but not quite like the third jersey. It's got a cream color on it around the collar. It's got 3 cream colored stripes on the sleeve, and then one at the bottom of the bottom of the waist there.
Yeah.
And dude, I've said it multiple times too. Like I really wish I really like the way that they lean into the Civil War theme, because I mean, in my opinion, that was a pretty important event in the United States history, and Columbus played a pretty decent part in that. But so I just love this a lot.
Yep.
I mean, and then just on the belt there's a belt buckle that just says CBJ in the middle of it.
Right.
So this is pretty dope. I'm
It's
going to have to get tickets for this, because that's the only way, unless someone sells their jersey afterwards or something like that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like, if obviously I'm 7 hours away in Illinois, so I don't get to Columbus a lot. So it makes it that much cooler when I'm able to come. But like, I'm no, generally speaking, not picking like a random Thursday game in January. Yeah, I usually do games on like a weekend. Obviously, the home opener on a Monday, that's going to be different. I make exceptions for that. But generally speaking, I'm usually there on weekends. And this is one of those times where I may make that an exception to that, to go to that game, get the ticket package just so I can get that hockey jersey, because oh my god, that is just so ridiculously good. Hefty Duck, you're right. We've talked about this on the show so many times about how it would be so cool if we saw like a jersey where the Blue Jackets, really use their Civil War theme here. And this is a perfect example of that, because this legitimately looks like a Union Army uniform. This legitimately looks like something that you could see in the Civil War. It's just perfect. It's the perfect shade of dark blue, and then the cappy shoulder patches.
Cappy shoulder patches. That's what I was gonna say. That's sick.
Oh my god, the
Thank you
cappy
for your
shoulder.
service.
Yeah, the cappy shoulder patch is perfect, and then the cannon logo, and then the little buttons just like on a Union soldier jacket, and the belt buckle thingy, and then the cream and the light blue. This is just like perfect. This is an awesome way to use your Civil War theme, and I just love it. I just love it when the Blue Jackets use their Civil War theme more.
And this is awesome to me. I really enjoy this a lot. Like, oh yeah, they explicitly say on the website too, like it's not, if you get a ticket, you have to get the ticket package for it too.
Yeah.
Which I feel like this one's gonna sell out pretty quick.
Right.
January 20.
and then the
Oh,
outdoor.
wait. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
And then this is just a perfect way to use the Blue Jackets Civil War theme, and the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey. That was another perfect example of how to use the Civil War theme. The silver chevrons and the big cannon and the shoulder patch with CBJ and the little belt buckle from the Kepi. It was just obviously perfect. Cannon third jersey, Kepi shoulder patch. Obviously they didn't do it this season, but the Kepi after each win, like the Cannon crew, like the Blue Jackets had just been so much better at using their Civil War theme. Even their main logo is based off of a Ohio cavalry unit flag used by the Union Army. So the Blue Jackets have just been so much better about using their Civil War theme, and I like that they're continuing that with this new jersey for the Military Appreciation Night ticket package.
So yeah, I'm looking more into this just to see. So special ticket package. So military appreciation ticket packages. Okay, so there's multiple ones, including exclusive jersey, a discounted game ticket. There's no pricing on this yet, but it says that if you do not, you have to have a promo code to unlock the package. So I'm gonna look more into that and figure that out. It seems that active military and season ticket holders are the ones who are going to be able to do that right away.
Yeah.
So I'll look a little bit more into it. Wait, this one says public. Oh, okay. So you can get a ticket. All right. I'm just confusing myself further. I don't want to keep wasting time on something that I just don't know about yet. So I will look more into that and let everyone know again next week. But anyway, in any case, this is that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yes. So I gotta
is there any other promotions that you're looking forward to?
No, because I don't even mean this in a disrespectful way, but it's just like every other one is just the stereotypical one that they've been doing for years, which is the military night and
I like the New Year's Eve.
Yeah, cool. It's just I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but it's like the stereotypical ones they do every year. The military night, the first responders night, the New Year's Eve thing, if there's a New Year's Eve game, obviously the whole the kids takeover thing.
Look at this jersey. It's Stinger. The whole thing is like lime green with like wings and a stinger on the back of the jersey with stingers, like a card, like a more kid-friendly stinger face on the front.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I want one of those too.
Yeah. So, they do the stereotypical military night and first responders night and New Year's Eve if they have a New Year's Eve, and the kids take over, and obviously the hockey's for everyone night and all that other stuff. So there's that. Oh, and the Santa Stinger and whatever, which is cool. I've gotten my picture taken with Santa Stinger before. It was cool. Though now more than I think about it, though, I take that back. I wonder what these celebration games are going to be like and how they're going to do that, because that's going to be cool and interesting.
I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to some of those too. I really want them cards. So there's a couple more I'm kind of looking forward to. Last year, I got the Margaritaville, the Hawaiian shirt. That was pretty cool. I really like that. The military appreciation's cool. Looks like they're having a new jersey for Pride this year. It's got stripes across that. Hockey is for everyone in March. It's gonna be right near St. Patrick's Day, and I don't know. They don't have it here, but there's usually some sort of green St. Patrick's Day jersey as well.
Right.
There was one that's pretty cool. First responders night, their jersey's pretty cool looking. It's not quite as cool, in my opinion, as the military one, but it's still pretty neat. It's a little different. It's
I saw again, this is only a theory on rumor, so this is only a theory, so it could be right or wrong. But someone suggested the idea on Reddit that they think that the first responders jersey has the shoulder patch from the outdoor game on the front, and this person in particular was taking a guess that they think maybe this could be like a test run as a way to use that in a more prominent role in the future.
they have a special patch for it. That's cool. It has like the medical logo on it,
Yeah.
614 with the police badge on the shoulders. This, I mean, it does feel very like with the blue and red and everything. It feels like a I don't know, a first responder type thing.
Yeah, but
Like flashing lights is what I think of when I see it actually.
But what I saw, there's this one guy on Reddit that thinks that, in this person's opinion, that the Blue Jackets using those shoulder patch from the outdoor game on the jersey here is like a test run to maybe use it more in the future to be more prominent.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, it definitely, there's another organization around the Columbus area with hockey that, well, there's tons of organizations that use a very similar style logo. Obviously, a little bit different, but I'm a fan of it. I kind of wish that the star wasn't tilted because it's the same star that's in the C logo with the Ohio flag, but they just left it tilted, which is fine. It would be kind of neat if it was just more straight because the logo is so perfectly straight and square, and then the star is kind of just like, yeah, I'm just hanging out here. What's up?
It is. Then again, I just wonder about that if because it was an outdoor game and outdoor game jerseys, you take a bit more chances with your jersey and different logos, and everything isn't exactly, straight and perfect and everything. That may have been a little design quirk there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a Superman thing. I mean, the thing I have about certain theme nights, I do like them. I like the jerseys they have, and I'm specifically talking about the ones like Star Wars night and Grateful Dead night. The Grateful Dead ones are always actually really cool, but I'm not really like much of a Star Wars fan or a fan of Superman, and it seems odd. Like those are really popular with people, so I get it. It's more popular with like more people than just me. Obviously, it's not about me, but in my opinion, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird. It's like this big corporate thing that like is taking over the world already. Like, why does it need to be in hockey? It's not like hockey is for everyone and stuff like that. Where it's like we're celebrating these people who are in the hockey world. And celebrating like people joining the hockey world and being around it, and like I don't know, like that's cool. It just seems like some sort of like consumer, like you must consume this. Like Star Wars, like you're gonna buy this. Like, it's neat, but it's not my cup of tea. Whatever. Anyway, we can move on to something else. We have any other news?
We can
We'll
say
do that
that
after this.
So we've been talking about this on the show, but if you were paying attention to the Blue Jackets outdoor game, you knew that 21 Pilots, a good band who makes good music from Columbus and are big Blue Jackets fans, played at the Blue Jackets outdoor game. And just going through just some of the stuff that the Blue Jackets posted from the outdoor game. And this is one of those things, is they posted pictures from the 21 Pilots concert at the Blue Jackets outdoor game. And I thought that was cool. And I wanted to share some of these pictures that they posted. So obviously that is the the lead singer, the main guy of 21 Pilots, Tyler Joseph, he's on the guitar. And then there's the drummer, 21 Pilots. And if you have watched any of 21 Pilot shows, whether that be in person or on YouTube, you notice that there's a certain thing that they always do with their shows. That it's not just good enough from their perspective to just do a show. You will never just see 21 Pilots just do a show. There always has to be something that goes with it, whether that be like, a light show with like different colors and lights and they're going all over the place when they're playing, or fireworks or a fire machine or just a whole bunch of other stuff. There's always something else that goes with that show, and I thought this is a perfect picture to capture that, because obviously you have them playing during the show, and then you have these like fire machines that are shooting fire out while they're playing music. And I thought that was kind of cool, like a cool shot there.
It's gotta be hot as hell up there with those going too. Because like I've been to shows where like there's like a big fireball like on a stage or something like that, and like you can feel it in the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's already you're up there already performing, moving around a lot, dancing around.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot.
Yeah. It probably felt good if you were up in here in this area, though.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh, it was so fun that day to be there, but it was so goddamn cold. Oh, geez. Oh well, but so that was a cool picture. And the next one, here we have again. This goes with the whole theme of you will never see 21 Pilots just do a show, because here we have a picture where Tyler Joseph, the lead singer and guitarist, is jumping up in the air while playing. And
I'm so confused how like it looks like he's jumping like onto the piano. There's no way he's that high in the air though. Like this is a very confusing perspective. I like it a lot though. It looks like he's like 15, 20 feet in the air.
Yeah. So
is he? Like damn.
Yeah.
Where's he jumping from?
I don't know. I know that I've watched this performance on YouTube multiple times. I know that they start the drummer Josh Dunn. He's just there playing drums, and like you don't see Tyler Joseph until like he gets up onto the piano and he jumps off of it, and then like stuff goes off and everything, and then he starts going. But like I don't know where he's exactly going in this particular picture, but it looks cool,
It does.
Yeah. So there's that.
It's a really good photo.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, here we have the drummer Josh Dunn. Little music, and of course, since they're big Blue Jackets fans, he's got to have the shirt that says Jackets on it, so that's cool. And again, you got like the fancy lights and like the smoke machine and everything. Like that's what you're gonna get with 21 Pilots. It's never just gonna be just a stereotypical show. There's always gonna be something else going on in the background while they're playing music. And then this is probably my favorite one right here. Just awesome, because like again, like Tyler Joseph, he's on a piano, and the drummer Josh Dunn is playing the drums, and then there's like fire and stuff shooting out of machines and fancy lights, and it captures like the crowd watching the concert, like here and in the background, and obviously it's on the scoreboard, and just an overall like really cool shot. Like it's just really cool.
It's pretty neat. I'm surprised they had all that fire near the ice.
Yeah. But I guess
It was probably so cold that it didn't matter.
But at the same time, the NHL, who put on this event, when they probably knew what they were getting into, like when you pick 21 pilots to do a show, you're going to run into that sort of thing. That's just how it is. So
yeah, I'm sure everything's checked, double checked, and triple checked.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
So
when you miss them with fire.
So, when you pick 21 pilots to do a show for you, you're just going to accept the fact that something like that is going to happen.
Yeah.
So, let's see. And again, let's see. Do we? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So there we go. So some cool pictures from the 21 pilots performance at the Blue Jackets outdoor game. So that was cool. So next up, we'll get going on the two quick signings that the Blue Jackets have done recently, which is they signed Mikael Pyyhtia to a 1-year deal, as well as Damian Hunt to a 1-year deal as well. So we'll get Happy Buck in here.
I think it might just be Damon.
Damon. All right.
No worries. So there's actually 3 signings recently. First off, on the 13th of August was Mikael Pyyhtia. And he was signed for a 1-year, 2-way contract worth $775,000 cap hit. Then on the 15th, Damon Hunt was signed 1-year, 2-way contract for $775,000 as well. And same with Dyson Mayo, was signed just yesterday. Oh shit! No, just don't mind me. I just can't read. There was 2. I read the 16th here, and I was like, I thought it was part of August. My bad. Scratch what I just said a second ago. Forget about it. Oh! Real quick though, Dyson Mayo, happy birthday, man.
That's right.
That's why I was gonna bring it up. Exactly. I meant to do that on purpose. Yes. But yeah. So a couple low cost contracts. Pyyhtia has been around for a while. Not really as familiar with Damon Hunt. I think he came into the Blue Jackets from Minnesota.
Yeah, David
in a trade.
David.
Oh yeah, for David Yurchek. Correct. Cool. He's still pretty young. He's like 23 or something like that. He was an RFA this last year. I have no real negative comment about this, no real good comment about this. I mean, at least he's not in the news yelling about a trade publicly with his agent. So, at least there's that. Well, what was his name? David Yurchek? Didn't he kind of did that too.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, because they were like, it kind of really put the pressure on to like anyway, Pyyhtia, congrats. Big fan. Nice outdoor jersey on Pyyhtia there. Number 82. But yeah, continue.
All right, so I like this because Mikael Pyyhtia was a good third line, fourth line guy for the Blue Jackets. So he did start out on the second line, and it was a small sample size, but I liked what I saw from him on the second line. Had some good chemistry with Adam Fantilli there because that's where Adam Fantilli started out this past season. But where Mikael Pyyhtia really shined is third line, fourth line, being a good third line, fourth line guy for the Blue Jackets. Speed, penalty killer, kind of little toughness, kind of hard to play against. That's exactly what I liked, and I like that he's back with the Blue Jackets and still a young up and coming player. He could be more than that. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes and how does he build on the success that he had this past season. He did get his first ever NHL goal this past season, and I was at that game. It was against the Oilers, and I was at that game in person. Blue Jackets playing the Oilers in Columbus, and I was at that game. It was cool. It was just, great to see, and good goal, good hockey intelligence by Mikael Pyyhtia, because Fantilli had the puck. He go and shoots it. Edmonton makes the save, and then you can kind of see Pyyhtia just kind of quietly just sneaking in there. No one's really paying attention to him, and he sneaks in there, and the puck pops loose, and then he shoots and scores. Good goal there for his first ever NHL goal. So overall, I like this. This is a good move for the Blue Jackets to get Mikael Pyyhtia back, and good third line, fourth line guy. It'll be interesting to see how this goes and how he continues to build on the success that he had. As for Damian Hunt, he hasn't played for the Blue Jackets yet. He's basically been a Monsters guy. However, though, I've read some stuff on him that at the time when the Blue Jackets traded for him, he was seen as one of the better defenseman prospects that the Wild had, and he did good for their minor league team there and also played for the Wild in some games, and he did good there as well. So that's cool. So just going to be interesting to see how that goes and when he might make his debut with the Blue Jackets. And he played good with the Monsters this past season too. So just going to be interesting to see how that goes and how he continues to build on that success and when he might make his debut with the Blue Jackets. So that's cool. And I like that. And I like the Mikael Pyyhtia deal. So it's all good here.
Just to throw out some stunts, Jesus. Just to throw out some stats for Hunt. I combined both words there. So he was actually served as an alternate captain for the Iowa Wild last season until he was traded. That's the Iowa AHL team. But he does have the total of 13 games experience. He's listed at having 12 games played for Minnesota Wild in 23-24. For the Monsters last year, he played 48 games. He played 9 games for the Iowa Wild last year as well. He played 48 games, had 2 goals, 12 assists for 14 total points, and 16 penalty minutes. And why is my thing not showing everything? He did pretty all right. I mean, for a defenseman, getting 14 points in 48 games, that is pretty solid. He's young, so I'm curious where this will go. In my opinion, nothing really to base this off of other than the monetary amount and their contract size. In my opinion, these are make it or break it kind of contracts. Like you get a couple more tries before you may end up, an AHL lifer or something.
Right. Yeah.
Not that there's really inherently anything wrong with that, but everyone's trying to make it to the NHL, and so
right.
and sometimes some people just need time to cook too. I think last year I read there's a couple players from the NHL who got in there who were like 29, were in their first like NHL games and stuff like that. I mean, you never know what can happen, but anyway, that's about the news. Actually, I got one last little thing here for news, and then we can move on. A very, very unfortunate happy birthday, happy heavenly birthday to Johnny Gaudreau. So the famous number 13, his birthday was August 13th. It would have been his 32nd birthday, and just wanted to shout out a little happy birthday to him. The anniversary of last year is coming up here soon as well. So we'll probably be dedicating a good chunk of an episode to some of our favorite Johnny Gaudreau moments here coming up soon in the next few weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, On to the next.
Okay, so now we will now be moving on to the next part of our show, which is right here, talking about some potential ideas on what Adam Fantilli's contract for the Blue Jackets may be. So this has been talked about recently in the Columbus media, more specifically in an article that Aaron Portzline wrote. And the basic idea, I'm paraphrasing it, but the basic idea of the article is that Adam Fantilli and his agent, along with the Blue Jackets, are open to all possible options. And your options are short-term deal, so what's often called a bridge deal. Usually that's like 2-3 years. And it's more of like, okay, you played good, but show me what you got. And if you play good, then you're going to make a lot of money, and we're going to give you a really big time contract next time. Which sometimes, that can be good, and sometimes that kind of backfires, and it in the end it sometimes costs the teams more money. Like, you have to do it, but you just cost yourself more money than maybe than you should have. But at the same time, it could work out because you give him a contract, let's say 2-3 years, and maybe he's not doing very good. It's like, yeah, that stinks, but at the same time, you're not completely stuck with it. It's not like you give him like an 8-year deal, and then if, let's just say in some scenario he plays bad, it's like, oh, I'm stuck with it. No one's going to want to touch that. So there are positives and potential negatives to a short-term thing. And then the other option is like basically what they did with Dante Fabro, which is a 4-year deal, which is it's a middle contract. It's not short-term, but it's not long-term. Somewhere in the middle with just a touch more money. And if you do good there, we'll give you a much bigger contract with more money. And then there's the final option, which is you throw the book, metaphorically speaking, throw the book at him. You give him all the money in the world with like an 8-year deal, and you go from there. Now, the negative of that is, okay, in some hypothetical scenario, if you do that and it backfires, now you're stuck with an 8-year deal that no one's going to want, and it's going to be hard to move, and no one's going to no one is going to want that, and you're stuck with it. However, though, the flip side of that, the benefit, the potential positive to this is that in some hypothetical scenario, if you were to give Adam Fantilli, let's say like an 8-year deal, and he starts to play like really good, then you're good to go, because you can look at that and say, man, we gave him like an 8-year contract worth like $7 million, and he's playing really good, and that's a bargain. When, realistically, maybe he should be getting like an 8-year, $9 million deal or $10 million or something like that. And in that scenario, you're actually saving yourself some money that you'll be able to use that for a different part of your team if you really wanted to do such a thing. And again, and like the short term and the medium term, if you do good at the end of that contract, you will get an even better contract than that 8-year deal one that you got if you did actually get it. And you'll get another long-term contract, and the money will be ridiculously huge, because by that point in time, the cap space will keep going up, and it's projected to be just really, really high, ridiculously high, that you'll get, even more money.
Yeah.
So ultimately, there's a lot of options that the Blue Jackets could go here. I'm of the mindset that I think that if I had to take a guess, they probably do what they did with Kirill Marchenko and Kent Johnson, where they give him like a 3-year deal, with just a touch more money and just say, okay, just show us what you got. You play good, but show us what you got. And if you play good, we'll give you an even bigger contract with more money, which is what they're going to do with Kent Johnson and Kirill Marchenko. So that's, I had to take a guess. I'm probably assuming that they're probably going to do something like, I don't know, like a 3 or 4 year deal or something like that, if I had to take a guess. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him an 8-year deal. It all just depends on how it goes. And Hefty Duck, he's got some analytics here that he wants to share, so we'll put that up on the screen.
Real quick before I do that, I have some other points in this I want to talk about too, and I want to look at another former Blue Jackets player who was maybe in a very similar position to Adam Fantilli when draft and everything, and that is Rick Nash. So looking back through his contract years, now this is according to puckpedia.com, of course. It doesn't have his full contract listed for when he entered in 2002 to 2004, the first 2 seasons. So he was, it looks like he missed a season there when he was 20. So anyway, Adam Fantilli, he is currently 20 years old. He's just about 2 months away from his 21st birthday. So Rick Nash, in 2005, the 05-06 season, Rick Nash signed a 5-year contract for $5.4 million a year. So that's 5 years times 5.4 mil. That's like 27 mil, something like that, roughly. And so now that was well over a decade ago. Damn, actually, in the 05 season, that was 20 years ago. Yeah. Rough to think about. Anyway, so we can add a couple mil onto that. We can look at someone like you said, Marchenko, and give him like some sort of deal like that. And then so later on in Rick Nash's career, when he was 26 years old, they added 2.4 mil to that salary to make it 7.8 a year for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It ended up being 9 years. Even he got traded from Columbus to New York, and he made the same amount there, and then same at his final season for Boston. Yeah. He only played like a little bit there. Anyway, so and obviously, I don't think like anyone was shied away from taking that contract off the Blue Jackets' hand at the time, even though at the time, I mean, 7.8 in 2010, that's a hell of a lot of money. And it's a lot of money now, obviously. But so just to compare that a little bit to Adam Fantilli and his play style and what he's worth right now. So I do have a nice little graphic here that I am going to share. And this is from Bench Rates. Bench Rates is at Bench Rates on X Twitter. And this is a post he made a few weeks ago. And he has the... Here, let me make this bigger. I don't know why it's so small here. All right, well, I can make it even a little bit bigger. Okay, so what Bench Rates did here is he took Fantilli's stats from each game and contributions and everything, and he monetized each one of those in his criteria so that he could take any player and take their stats, their analytics, and turn that into a monetary value worth how much they play in accordance to other players from around the league as well. So I'm going to go through this real quick. And generally speaking, so these are not added together. So for his general, just Adam Fantilli's general, what he's worth, he's rated at a overall at 87. So he's playing, his contribution per dollar is worth $8.9 million. I'm not entirely sure what paid contribution or unpaid contribution is entire. Oh, okay. Now, okay, I don't quite get that. But anyway, I had a whole thing on this, and I am blowing it. So individual offense, it has them at 6.9 mil, which would be part of where that paid contribution comes from. On ice offense, 2.4 mil. And the total, where is the total here? Anyway, it's showing his stats are roughly worth around like an $8 million contract right now. So that's a very solid play style for someone who is currently making not a lot. I can get that up for you in just a second, actually. Adam Fantilli's, making 950,000. He's also making playing bonuses though too. He's not just walking away with like less than $1 million for playing for the Blue Jackets. He's got playing bonuses, I think, up to performance bonuses worth up to 3.2 mil. So that's not against the cap hit. That's performance bonuses from what I understand. So the Blue Jackets currently have 15 million in space. One of those millions is mostly taken up by Adam Fantilli. So we can imagine them having 14 million when we're talking about giving him a new contract. I'm sorry, 16 million, giving Adam Fantilli a new contract. So with the analytics here from bench rates showing that Adam Fantilli is playing at roughly like an 8 million or 8.9 million contract pace. Let's think about that compared to Rick Nash. Now, that was like 02, 03. It was 20 years ago, 5.4 mil. So I can imagine that being more like 8 mil maybe nowadays. That was a pretty big contract for that day, that era too. And I mean, Fantilli's stats are showing he improved. He's a big dude, 6'2", almost 200 pounds. High drafted, high hopes for this guy. What you were saying earlier too about like, possibly giving out a huge contract, like like an 8-year contract or something like that. I feel like that lends itself to possibly being traded more later on too, like what happened with Rick Nash. But with any of these guys, it's a gamble. You never know what exactly is going to happen. You just don't have a clue. What could happen later on. I mean, like, just for instance, not digging on him, but look at Yegor Chinikov. High-level player, plays so good when he's on the ice, which unfortunately hasn't been a lot. So you usually don't know what you're getting, and you're taking this cap hit for someone who's now. I think once you're on like IR and stuff like that, there's stuff about the caps where it doesn't count against your team and stuff like that. That's how Mark Stone's able to play in the playoffs every year somehow magically. Vegas, looking at you. But so personally, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a 3 or 4 year contract. Because Kirill Marchenko, he got that. He's in year 2 of 3. He got that 3-year, almost $4 million contract.
Right.
I think this with the way Fantilli entered the league, highly drafted, the way he's played, very high level, that I could see him getting that like $5.5 million contract for 3 to 4 years. And then after that, I mean, if he continues his trajectory now, that's a $10 million player or possibly more.
Right.
Because there's not a single forward, not a single forward on the Blue Jackets. The two highest paid are both 5.5 mil and 5.2 mil, and Vronkov, and so because the two biggest contracts that the Blue Jackets had are no longer there in Patrick Laine and John Gaudreau.
Right.
So this is the future right here, Adam Fantilli. I wouldn't, like we said, it's a total gamble, but I would not be afraid of giving him a long contract right now.
Right.
There's limited downside to it, because especially as the cap just gets a little bit bigger every couple of years or so.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room to spare. A lot of room to spare.
No.
You could give him and someone else an $8 million contract, possibly. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but maybe like 1 or 2 mil, because of the cap space. But it'd have to be like 7 mil each. So I don't know. I'm expecting a big move or a big contract sometime before too long.
Another thing to consider here is that in the event that Adam Fantilli would want in the event, something to consider here, in the event that Adam Fantilli would want a 8-year contract, this upcoming season is his last shot to do that, because the CBA, the hockey's getting a new CBA that will take place in the summer of 2026. And when that CBA takes place in the summer of 2026, that will mean that you can no longer have 8-year deals. You can only go as high as 7. So if Adam Fantilli wanted an 8-year deal, he's got to do it now. Because if he doesn't do it now and we get to summer 2026 and the new hockey CBA goes into effect, he will not be able to do that anymore. So in some hypothetical scenario, if Adam Fantilli wants an 8-year contract, he's got to do it now. Otherwise, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that might be a little more rare for someone who's a bit younger. It's still kind of figuring himself out in the NHL. And the thing is, he might be so well aware too that as he develops in the NHL in 3 or 4 years, he's going to be outplaying that $8 million price tag.
Yeah.
Like he'll be playing maybe at a $12 million level or something like that.
Right.
And if you just don't want to get locked into that if you're going to outplay your contract like that. I mean,
at the same time, though, I'm just thinking here, but at the same time, if I was Adam Fantilli and if I was locked into a long-term contract, let's say it was 8 years, and it was like, I don't know, 8-year deal, and we'll just say like, I don't know, 8 million or something like that, and I'm playing really good, and maybe I'm outplaying that contract, and maybe I should be getting 9, 10, 11 million. I could use that to my advantage in the next contract negotiation when I go to the Blue Jackets, and I could say, hey, in this hypothetical scenario, I could say, hey, I have an 8-year deal that's worth $8 million, and I'm playing really good, and I'm outpaying that contract. And realistically, I probably should be getting 9 million, 10 million, or 11 million. You should be doing that and, more money, and use that to your advantage. Because I've seen that happen with other players, with other teams, where a guy's on a contract and it becomes a bargain, and it's cheaper than what it should be. He's getting more money than what he should be. And then he uses that to his advantage, and he gets used that to his advantage to get more money, sort of thing.
That's why you don't bind your front and back buttons to your mouse when you have your hand on it and you accidentally click it. My bad. I'm back.
Well, that's because I was talking there and I see Hefty Duck leave the show and I'm like,
shit. And I just noticed too, we have a comment. Josh Passfield
right.
says, hey guys.
Shout
out.
Josh. All right. Yeah. So shout out to my guy, Josh Passfield, one of my good friends of almost 20 years that I, went to school with for 7th and 8th grade. Well, I mean, I would have been in 7th grade. He would have been in 6th grade. And then I would have been in 8th grade and he would have been in 7th grade. But nonetheless, shout out to Josh Passfield. one of my good friends of almost 20 years that I just like talking to and, you know, hanging out with, and many fun times over the years. So you know, and he's a big Chicago sports fan, the Bears and the Cubs and the Bulls and the Blackhawks, and he's doing his own Chicago sports themed show now on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I
So
was gonna ask. Have we had this guy on the show? Was this one
yes,
of your
we
friends? Cool.
yes,
Thought
we
so.
have. If you remember, he's the guy in the wheelchair.
Okay.
He's very, very a good guy. He's knowledgeable about sports.
Give him a shout out. What his
Yeah,
thing is.
I'm gonna look that up because it's on his Facebook page. So
Oh, really?
I'm gonna check that out, and then I'm gonna put that up on the screen. So okay, so okay, so I'm gonna put this up on the screen here. So Josh, if you're still watching this,
Mhm.
Josh, if you're still watching this, I'm putting a little plug for your show up on the screen here. So we have the Hit Stick. So it's a Chicago sports themed show that mostly talks about the Bears, but Josh has told me that there will be a little talk about the Cubs and Bulls and Blackhawks too, but this is mostly going to be a Chicago Bears themed show because my friend Josh is a big Chicago Bears kind of a guy. So, just want to throw that out there and, shout out to my good friend Josh's show on YouTube, the Hit Stick. So just want to throw that one out there. And of course, disclosure, obviously we're an Ohio sports themed show, so Hefty Duck's more of a Browns guy, I'm a Bengals guy, so no worries, we're not saying that we support the Bears or anything. We support Ohio teams here, so Bengals, Browns, Blue Jackets, Reds, Guardians, Ohio State, whatever. But just had to give a shout out to Josh, one of my good friends here, and he's got a show now, so just want to throw that one out there.
Cool. So,
but
do you have anything more about the contract discussion with specifically Adam Fantilli?
I just think it's gonna be, interesting how, and I'll put my slide back up there. It's gonna be, it's just gonna be interesting on how that goes and what they determine what it's gonna be. Because we've already said this right now in the show, but like there are legitimate arguments to why you could do every single option, the short-term bridge deal, like the middle option and the long-term deal option. I wouldn't be surprised if it was any of those options. It's just going to be interesting to see how it goes and what option do they pick. Of course, they being the Blue Jackets and Adam Fantilli and his agent. What kind of agreement do they come to? What deal do they pick? What kind of agreement do they come to? So that just kind of interesting because, Adam Fantilli really shined this season. He really stepped it up, especially from the month of January until the rest of the season in April. And it could not have come in a better spot for the Blue Jackets because it's January 7th. The Blue Jackets are playing Pittsburgh. And why I remember this, because it was my niece's birthday that day, Ava. And we went to my brother's house with his wife, and there's three kids who are my nieces. And on January 7th, it was my niece's birthday. So we went there to celebrate with my niece Ava and say hi. And it just so happened that the Blue Jackets played that day on January 7th, and they played Pittsburgh that day. And that day, Sean Monahan goes down with the injury, gets hurt, and at the time you don't think much of it because it doesn't look that bad. He kind of gets whacked in the boards, but like it wasn't there's like getting whacked into the boards where it looks bad, and then there's getting whacked into the boards like, well, it's not that bad. And that's exactly what happened with Sean Monahan. He gets whacked into the boards, and you watch it happen. It's like, well, it's not that bad. It can't be that bad. And then it turns out, no, actually, it is that bad. He hurt his wrist pretty good, and he missed a good chunk of the season and didn't come back until about the middle of March. And so when that happens, you are essentially at a oh crap moment for the Blue Jackets. What do? Because your center depth just took a big hit when that happened. Because another thing to remember is that you did not have Boone Jenner at that time. And he is a guy that can play wing and center. And if the Blue Jackets had Boone Jenner in that scenario, Boone Jenner probably gets the first line center spot first before Adam Fantilli, just because at that point in time, it's still Adam Fantilli is still kind of an unknown, and you don't know what you have. And if you screw this up, it can have bad side effects for the Blue Jackets, where you could ruin Adam Fantilli's confidence. You could hurt his development if he's not ready for it. But the Blue Jackets were essentially in a spot to where they had no other choice. They had to put Adam Fantilli in that first line center spot because it's no disrespect to the other guys they had at that time, which would have been Sean Corrali or Cole Sillinger, but or Luca Del Belluz. But they could have done it, but it's just like, that's not where you want to put them. So they had no other choice but to put Adam Fantilli in the top line center spot. That could have gone bad. It could have gone good. And in the end, it went good for the Blue Jackets. It, made things easier so that you didn't have to worry about that first line center spot not having Sean Monahan. Because as soon as Adam Fantilli took over that first line center spot, he was ridiculously good. He was awesome, and he really stepped it up to a whole new level. That is really the moment where he shined and really just started to take games over. There would be games that the Blue Jackets would win because of Adam Fantilli, where he'd play really good and he would just take over a game. He really was just, as soon as he got that spot, he was awesome. And in that time frame, he had 2 hat tricks on the road at some of the 2 toughest places to play in hockey, Toronto and New York. Adam Fantilli cooked the Toronto Maple Leafs. Adam Fantilli cooked the New York Rangers, destroyed them. Just ridiculously good. He just took his play to a whole new level. And then when Sean Monahan comes back, Adam Fantilli goes back down to that second line center spot, and he's still fine. He didn't cool off. That is a thing that happens where you play higher up in the lineup, you do good, and then the guy comes back, takes that spot, the guy goes down lower in the lineup, and they're not as good. That was not a thing with Adam Fantilli. He was really good. And then you just had that season, you had that real good center depth, because then you had Sean Monahan playing really good at the first line with the 2 Russians, with one of the best lines in hockey. And then you had Adam Fantilli playing really good. And then you had Cole Sillinger. And then you had Sean Corrali. And if you needed it, Boone Jenner, he could go in there and play center. That was some of the best center depth that the Blue Jackets have had since 2019 when they were in the playoffs. So yeah. Adam Fantilli, you just shined. You really stepped it up. You really played awesome. 31 goals. you finished strong. In the final 7 games, you scored 6 goals. You had 2 hat tricks in this season. You just played really good. You stepped it up, and now it's going to be interesting to see how you build on that, on all that positive momentum, where you go from here. Adam Fantilli is the only second guy in Blue Jackets history to get at least 30 goals in his second season. Rick Nash was the other one. And if you're doing that like Rick Nash, that means you're pretty good there.
Yeah.
And now the Blue Jackets, they know that they have good center depth now, and they know that they can count on Adam Fantilli to play really good and put him in the first line center spot if they need him.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with that, because I mean, he's the future first C.
Yes.
But with Sean Monahan there, you got to put the experienced guy in there first.
Yep.
He definitely deserves to be where he's at. But I can definitely see, I can see Fantilli growing into that next level player.
I mean,
and getting that permanent first line spot.
That's essentially what he's projected to be, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did that eventually, to be that top line guy with that top line center spot, taking that next step to be that elite talent, elite guy with all the elite talent in the world, with a future star in the making. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened in the next year or two, where Adam Fantilli is just so good to the point to where he just takes over that first line center spot, and there will be nothing that Sean Monahan can do, and it will be even no disrespect to him. It's just that I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Fantilli gets to a point to where he's just too good to be on that second line center role, to where he has to be on that first line center spot and just takes it over. And if that happens, then you're already even better, because then you have Fantilli first line. You're going to have Sean Monahan second line. You would assume eventually Caden Lindstrom is going to get here, so you'll have him. If Boone Jenner's still with the Blue Jackets, you'll have him and Isaac Lundestrom. That's Luca Delbo-Luz will eventually be here as well. Like, that's going to be some good center depth there. It's just going to, awesome. So shout out to you, Adam Fantilli, for just playing really good and just stepping up. And I'm just excited to see how this goes, and where do you go from here? How do you build up on all that positive momentum that you had this season, and where do you go from here? Just going to be interesting to see, and a bright future, and so much fun to watch. A bright future for Adam Fantilli.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have some other stuff?
Yes.
To chit chat about a little bit?
Yes, I do. I
got something, but it might have to be a whole episode in itself.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to it.
Okay. Well, I saw this on Twitter recently, and I'm gonna share it for fun, because it's our good old friend Harry, the outstanding, the wonderful Dime a Dog champion, our guy Harry, who's been on the show many times, one of my awesome Columbus friends, doing a little fun promo for his job, the open shelter that helps out, people who are in tough spots. So we're going to, just for the fun of it, we're going to play this video for our guy, Harry.
I'm Harry Yuckrum with the Open Shelter in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh no, it paused. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Oh my God, it paused. All right, let's try this again.
I'm Harry Yuckrum with the Open Shelter in Columbus, Ohio. We are honored to be
Oh, why did it do that? Why
Why
did
is
it
it
do
doing that?
part of the NASCAR Day Give-A-Thon. Our agency assists homeless and largely housed men, women, and children with crucial needs to survive. Last year alone, we assisted over 2,400 individuals. We also help them with the next step to get back on their feet and in a more stable situation. Your contributions will help us in the race to raise much needed funds. Thank you.
I didn't know he did that. That's really neat.
It. Yeah, good guy. So we're playing it one more time just for the heck of it.
The Open Shelter in Columbus, Ohio. We are honored to be part of the NASCAR Day Give-a-thon. Our agency assists homeless and marginally housed men, women, and children with crucial needs to survive. Last year alone, we assisted over 2,400 individuals. We also help them with the next step to get back on their feet and in a more stable situation. Your contributions will help us in the race to raise much needed funds. Thank you. I'm Harry Yucker.
Do you have a link for this or anything?
This is on Twitter.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google this real quick because I want to shout this out.
The Open Shelter, Columbus, Ohio.
Friends of the Homeless. So that is theopenshelter.org. Is advocacy center and day service shelter for homeless and marginally housed people in Central Ohio. And at the very top of the page, there is a place that you can donate. And, once Harry has absolutely zero clue that we're talking about him right now or anything, but we friend of the show. I like Harry a lot. Yep. And I never really asked him like what he did or anything like that, or what he does for work or just anything in his life really much. But this is really neat. This is a Columbus-based shelter. So if you would like to donate, there is the link there and all that good stuff too. So that's pretty neat. Yeah. I wonder, it looks like they have food and stuff like back there too. Yeah. I'm curious if you can donate items like that or not. But look further into it. Yeah. They're doing some good stuff out there.
Yes. All right. So next up.
Sorry, real quick. Sorry. I just found the needs list. They have an Amazon wish list, and you can go buy them things through their wish list. You can get clothing, hygiene products, medical, food, agency. I don't know what that really means. Looks like silverware and stuff, meals programs, volunteers, donations. So you can go buy things they directly need. Real neato. Anyway, carry on.
Yes. Okay. Next up, I'm gonna cook Detroit fans because I found some old some tweets from the outdoor game, the Blue Jackets outdoor game, and we ripped them on the show. Oh, it's a high stick. It's like, no, that's not why you lost. You lost because your defense had negative 13 goal differential, and your defense was terrible. But that's it against one of the best teams scoring goals in the NHL. But that's neither here or there. But I'm gonna cook some of these Detroit fans with these with some of these bad tweets. So first off, this first one from Chris Bama Brune at Chris Bama Brune on Twitter. I'm sorry, this hashtag stadium series with Detroit and Columbia. What the hell is that? You mean Columbus? Come on now. It's just a ploy to go to Ohio State. Such a lousy recruiting move. Well, there, Mr. Chris Bama Brune. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why there was an Ohio State theme at the Blue Jackets outdoor game. I don't know if you noticed it while watching the game, but the Blue Jackets and the Detroit Red Wings were playing an outdoor hockey game at Ohio State. Do you not understand that? The Blue Jackets and the Red Wings were playing an outdoor hockey game at Ohio State. So yes, there is going to be an Ohio State theme to that. It's really not that hard. You do not have to be this dumb and complain about it. And yes, since it's at Ohio State, guess what? You're going to use the whole Ohio State Michigan theme thing. Okay, because that's what Ohio State is. That's their big theme. That's their big rival. They don't like Michigan, and Michigan doesn't like Ohio State. And what do you know? You're using two teams, one from Ohio, the Blue Jackets, and another one from Michigan, the Red Wings, and you're playing and having them play an outdoor hockey game at Ohio State. So, yes, you're going to have some sort of Ohio State theme to it. And this,
where else would they have had it?
yes, that's true too. Hefty Duck.
Like
Where else
maybe-
would they? Where else would
Maybe
they?
maybe
had
lower.com arena, but it wouldn't have had the
No,
same appeal.
no, it would
as
not.
One of the biggest historical places in all of Columbus.
Yes. So you're right. So where else would they have it? Nowhere. So no. And then this thing, oh, it's such a lousy recruiting move. No. No.
I don't think they need
No.
much help with that.
No, Ohio State doesn't really need much help with that. But even you put that off to the side. You know why that game was there? Not because of Ohio State. It was there because of the Blue Jackets. The NHL wanted to show off Columbus. They wanted to show off the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets were the main star of the show. That is why that hockey game was there, because of the Blue Jackets. If the Blue Jackets are not there, there is no outdoor hockey game there. It would not happen because the NHL is not coming to Columbus to do an outdoor hockey game for Ohio State. The NHL is coming. Well, they did come, but the NHL came to Columbus to do an outdoor game in Columbus for the Blue Jackets, not Ohio State. And also, learn to spell. It's Columbus, not Columbia, silly idiot. All right. That's that. Any thoughts about this, Hefty Duck, or no?
I just wanted to reiterate too. The Ohio State doesn't need really that much help in recruiting. I mean, maybe like for hockey, yeah, but they just they don't need to do this. They just pay their players $20 million.
Yeah,
I seen a meme today that was kind of a joke. That was it was that really buff guys like doing the handshake thing, and it was Michigan on one side, and it said and it was Ohio State on the other side, and they both had like a $20 million thing, and it said when both teams having to pay $20 million for a national championship.
Yep.
Because Michigan got fined for actually being pieces of shit finally. But that's it. This is the fine.
Yeah.
Ooh, slap on the wrist. And then Ohio State paid their players a bunch of money to go there. But
yeah.
Hey, that's what's allowed now.
Yeah. So no. All right. So now to the next tweet that I'm gonna call someone out. Let's see here. Let's see here. I got them saved here. So let's see here. Which one should I pick next? Yeah. Okay, this isn't me. This is me ripping on them, but from a Detroit fan, did Columbus just score on Cam Talbot via wraparound in 2025 Christ 3-1 Jackets? Yes, they did, because your defense is ass. It is. Your defense had a negative 13 goal differential going into the game, and it let them down. You gave up 5 goals, and in this particular instance, the game was tied up at 1, and within about 33 seconds, you gave up 2 quick goals, and now you're down 3-1 because your defense is ass. So yes, Columbus did score on Cam Talbot via wraparound because your defense is ass. I know I said this isn't ripping on them, but I take that back. It is. But anyways. Okay. Detroit's defense has no energy. That power play goal wouldn't have happened if Edvinsson had his stick on the ice. The goaltending is not great either. And yes, this is true. This is making a reference to the Dmitry Voronkov goal that we've shown many times on the show, where essentially Evison, the defender for Detroit, is non-existent defending. He just kind of stands there and lets Voronkov get right in front of the net and then shoot and score. Like, if you put some effort in there, get your stick on the ice, that probably doesn't happen, but that didn't happen. And yes, the goaltending was also not good that day because defense was not very good that day for Detroit. Your defense wasn't very good, and Detroit had Detroit's goalie Cam Talbot had a 800 save percentage, so Swiss cheese. So you put those two things together against a team like the Blue Jackets, who's really good at scoring goals, it's not good. You're not going to win. You're not going to win. Mm-hmm. Anything to say about these two?
Yeah, no, it just cracks me up going through these again and thinking about how many more excuses they're going to be making these next few years.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, they're kind of in a rebuild, and there's a bright future for Detroit too. They had some good signings. They didn't they pick up Marner?
No, Vegas.
Vegas picked up Marner. Who did they pick up? They picked up someone big this offseason. Whatever. Just how much I care about them. I don't know. But yeah, a wraparound. Of course it's going to happen if you just let a player do that to you.
And of course, that player being Matthew Olivier, because we played that goal many times on the show, but that happens because the Blue Jackets dump it into their offensive zone, and there's a puck battle along the boards, and you watch that, and there is absolutely no effort from Detroit. They're absolutely awful, and they just let Olivier get the puck, win the board battle, and then just let him just go right in front of the net and just jam it in there. Like, what do you expect? And I'm looking at it like, oh my, from a defensive standpoint from Detroit, it's like, that was awful. Like, what are you doing there? You didn't put any effort. You just let Matthew Olivier, no disrespect to you, Matthew Olivier, but you just let Matthew Olivier just win a board battle along the boards when he was outnumbered. There's two guys by him, and you just let him win that and just take it to the net. It's like, no, you're not going to win when your defense is just that bad with no effort.
I know it's hard to do because it's Matthew Olivier, but like, there's two of you, literally just take him down.
Yeah.
If you're going to suck that bad, take a penalty or something instead. And just at least avoid the full goal, reset, try to just turtle in on your goal then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I was about to say, like, why don't they just like hit him? Just push him off the puck. There's two of you. Just literally one of you, like, wedge yourself, like, turn around, like, turn your body around the puck and like try to wedge yourself between him and the wall while the other one is in front of you. You're face to face with your own guy, Matthew Olivier, to your back, and just trying to kick the puck out front to him. Whereas they just blew it.
Yeah. So next one, let's see here. I got some good ones saved here. Let's see here.
Kind of easy to, tell people what they should have done when.
Yeah, I know.
But whatever,
Okay, so I don't think. Let's see here. I don't think that. I don't know. I don't. This guy may or may not be a Detroit fan. I don't know, but he's right. I'm not cooking him. I'm actually agreeing him with here, which is at Ross Bjork. So that's the 18th at Ohio State. Number one objective should be to improve men's bathrooms at the Shoe. Atrocious. And he's right, because I tried going to the bathroom at the Blue Jackets outdoor game, and the lines were absolutely awful. And I just said, nope, I'm not doing it. Forget it. I'll just go back to my seats, because I would have missed a good chunk of the game if I had done that. It was just so bad. So this guy's right, at Tom Alex 24 on Twitter. You're right. The Ohio State absolutely should improve the men's restrooms at the Shoe because the bathroom lines there were awful.
Yeah, there is one thing that at Nationwide Arena, it's inside. It was built like a lot more recent than the Shoe. But like there's almost always enough time to find a bathroom in the middle of in the intermissions.
Yeah.
And like usually it's like for me, if you get there kind of late and the line's really long, like generally it's done by the time the period starts again. It's really weird how. So not only better bathrooms, but probably some more too.
Yeah. Let's go Red Wings. This Detroit fan says, "Let's go Red Wings" chant fills the Shoe. Oh, swing and a miss. That did not happen. There was very few Red Wings fans there. It was a sea of blue all over the Shoe. Blue was everywhere. Blue Jackets stuff everywhere. I'm sorry, that did not happen because I was there. There was barely any Red Wings fans there. It had to be at least 95% Blue Jackets there with just a touch of Red Wings fans there. So there was definitely not a Let's Go Red Wings chant there. There was CBJ chant and Let's Go Jackets chant, I can tell you that, and it was loud. So sorry, Detroit fan, that did not happen. Sorry. Let's see here.
Comment on that.
No. No. Not this is I don't know if this guy's a Detroit fan or not, but whatever. Not only is this outdoor game a tribute to traditionally slept on Blue Jackets fans, but it's great. Okay, this guy's a Blue Jackets fan, I think. But it's great to see the Jackets get a great looking special occasion jersey because the reverse retros for brutal. Yeah, the red one that was awful because you're named the Blue Jackets, and why do you have a red ripoff Capitals jersey? I'm gonna call you out here. I don't think the second one's that bad. It's much better. I can see the black, and maybe people don't like that, but that's much better than that. And I like the light blue sleeves, and it's an actual Blue Jackets jersey. You could believe it because there's a lot of blue on it because Blue Jackets, but that's just me. But outdoor game jersey too. But I think the second one was better.
Yeah, I think so. It was definitely better.
Yeah.
And I do like them. I would like them enough to. I really should have got one already, but.
Oh well,
they're cool. I like the black. It's mostly what I wear.
Yeah, I like it. I got it. I own that one. I did not get that one.
I don't blame you.
No. Let's see here. This nothing to do with Detroit, but this Michigan guy, I just saved all this stuff when he tweeted about Adam Fantilli. Okay, here. Maybe we got a couple more here. Let's see here. I know I got somewhere. We're gonna cook them. We're gonna call them out. We're gonna call them out. Okay. It's coming. Okay, here we go. How is that not a penalty on Columbus there with it's a high stick? Okay, here's why. You don't know this because you probably weren't paying attention to this, Mr. Eric, or at MSU_Yoda on Twitter. I'll tell you why. Number one, Dylan Larkin, your guy who plays for your favorite team, the Detroit Red Wings. He asked the refs how come it wasn't a high stick, and he told the media, the Detroit media, after the game, it wasn't a high stick because they thought it was embellishment. And when you look at that replay, yeah, that makes sense because he gets hit with a stick and my head went back. I'm trying to get a call there. And no, they weren't going to call that. And also, why it wasn't a high stick too? Here's why. Because Justin Danforth, the Blue Jackets player who, did the high stick, I'm putting in quotations, high stick. You know why that happened? Because he was getting hooked and he couldn't really go anywhere. And then in that because he really couldn't go anywhere, his stick gets whacked by a Detroit player, and because the Justin Danforth stick gets whacked, that's why the high stick happens. So no, not a high stick. I'm sorry. So knock it off. Just no. Just no. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. This guy may or may not like Detroit. Maybe he likes the Blue Jackets. I don't know. But he says, at Blue Jackets NHL, great jersey for the Stadium Series, but missed opportunity, missed opportunity. Why not have a silver/gray helmet to represent Ohio State? They have silver/gray in the jersey. Could have pulled it off. Well, there, Mr. Sporty Vice on Twitter. I'll tell you why that didn't happen. Because Ohio State didn't let the Blue Jackets do that. The Blue Jackets wanted to have a Ohio State themed helmet for the game. And Ohio State got a little bit pissy about that and shot that down. That's copyright. You can't do that or something like that. And it's like, okay.
I kind of get it. Like, there's only so much you can really borrow before you're just like, okay, do your own thing. And the Blue Jackets weren't trying to do something else. They weren't trying to like pose as Ohio State or something like that. They were trying to do their own thing with that little bit of a throwback. So I kind of think that maybe, like, honestly, that might have been a little bit much too.
Yeah.
Because like let's talk about the Blue Jackets at Ohio State. And, of course you have to have some Ohio State in there, but the Blue Jackets.
Yeah. So they tried. The Blue Jackets wanted to have an Ohio State helmet and, kind of got shut down. But no worries. They still got to use an Ohio State theme. And I love the pettiness of this, of the Blue Jackets. They're like, oh, you don't want us to have an Ohio State themed helmet. Too bad. Buckeye leaves in the collar. We're doing Buckeye leaves in the collar of the jersey. So screw you. We're doing it anyways. And of course the NHL, I guess they kind of ran into that some sort of like, I guess kind of uppityness or just little hissy fit that Ohio State are like, no, you can't do that. And the NHL are like, well, screw you. Buckeye leaves on the field. We're doing it anyways. So, I just love that pettiness. I just love that pettiness. Screw you. We're doing it anyway. So, Sporty Vice, the Blue Jackets did want to do it. They wanted to have an Ohio State themed helmet, but they wouldn't let them do it. So, they found a way around it. They did something different. Let's see here. Here we have, I'm assuming a Detroit fan being an absolute cringe dork. An Ohio team needing the refs' help to win in their own backyard. Tell me if you've seen this before. Are you serious? You shitting me? You really think that the Blue Jackets, generally speaking, get help from the refs? Are you kidding me?
Dude, I did a whole section last year and maybe even the season before about how the Blue Jackets were the single most team with the most calls against them, penalty calls, with the fewest calls in their favor.
Yeah.
For 2 years in a row, they were at the bottom. This year, when I looked into it, they were not at the bottom, but that's great. That means like something's improving there too. Like Ohio team needing the refs. Come on, dude.
Shut up.
Who do you think
we are?
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a guess. This guy probably likes Detroit. But just, dude, shut up. Like, come on. And it's not just Ohio sports in general, whether that be the Reds, the Guardians, the Bengals, the Browns, the Blue Jackets, Ohio State. Just stop with this. They need the refs' help. No, there's been many times over the years that the Blue Jackets or the Bengals, the Browns, the Reds, the Guardians, or Ohio State have, kind of gotten screwed there and didn't get a call that they probably shouldn't have, but they didn't because no. Ohio teams are, generally speaking, are not getting help with the refs. So sit down. I'm not putting up with that. And again, go back to what we said in previous shows, in a previous tweet earlier on in the show. Detroit did not lose because of a high stick. You lost because your defense was pathetically bad. Ass. Horrible. A negative 13 goal differential. Your goalie had an 800 save percentage. Swiss cheese. You suck. That's why you lose. Not because of it was a high stick. No, you lose because your defense was horrible. Your goalie was Swiss cheese. You had a negative 13 goal differential. And when you put all those things together against a team like the Blue Jackets, who is really good at scoring goals this season, one of the best at 5-on-5, top 10 in scoring, that's not a recipe for success when you're going against the Blue Jackets. So you lose because your defense is awful. It gave up 5 goals against a team that's really good at scoring goals. You're not going to win when you have a bad defense and you're going up against a team that has really good scoring ability. That's how it is. So knock it off with they needed the refs' help to win. Like, no, we're not doing this. You're terrible. Loser, weak excuse. Stop it. Anyways. Oh, here we go. Here we go again. Worst call in Ohio Stadium since JT Barrett got a first down. The context of this is in 2016, Ohio State plays Michigan at the Shoe. And it's in double overtime. And Ohio State could have kicked the field goal for the win. They didn't do it. They went for it. And had they not gotten it, they would have lost the game. But they went for it. They get it. And, we got Michigan fans here. They go, oh, JT Barrett, JT was short. JT was short. It's like, no, he wasn't. First down. Suck it. Go Bucks. First down. Ohio State. Okay. That's not why you lost. It's just like the high stick thing. You see, the Detroit fans like to focus on the high stick and why they like the loss. No, you didn't. You lost because your defense was horrible against a team like the Blue Jackets, who's really good at scoring goals. It's not going to work out well for you if that's the case, which it was. Michigan lost that game against Ohio State, not because of, JT Barrett was short. He wasn't. You know why you lost that? Because you made really dumb mistakes. Michigan had a 17-7 lead. They blew that. Okay? That's strike one. Strike two, you turned the ball over 3 times, and on all 3 turnovers, Ohio State scored. Okay? You're not bad. One of those turnovers was a pick 6. Bad. Another turnover is you had the ball, you're driving down the field, and Michigan had the ball inside the 5-yard line. They fumbled it. Ohio State recovers, and then eventually they score. So you pissed away Michigan. You pissed away an opportunity to, at minimum, at least get a field goal there. Okay? So there's that. And I found this game on YouTube, which is crazy. I didn't think you could do that, but you can, which is I watched that entire game. Ohio State's offense that entire game was awful. For the most part, it was JT Barrett run play, JT Barrett pass play. Sometimes you hand it off to the running back, but 9 times out of 10, it was JT Barrett pass play or JT Barrett run play. And guess what? Michigan, they really couldn't stop it. So stop with this. Worst call in Ohio State since JT Barrett got a first down. Stop. Michigan, you didn't lose because of that. And you're making this comparison with the high stick to that when it's like, no, you didn't lose because of that. You lost because your defense was bad, and Michigan lost because they made just really, really dumb mistakes. So stop. Knock it off.
Excuses.
Excuses. And
Excuses
again,
are like assholes or something like that.
Yep. And
everyone's got one. They all stink.
This one game is true. That is truly on the refs. No, it's not. It's on your defense's ass. You gave up 5 goals against a team who's good at scoring. So stop. And if you really want to back this up, in 2 games, that Thursday and Saturday, Detroit gave up 10 goals to the Blue Jackets in 10 games. You're not going to win when you do that. So stop. Congrats with Columbus referee. No. Congrats to the fact that your defense is ass, and that's the reason why you lose. You give up 5. Stop. If your defense played better, you could win. but you didn't. Red Wings got a job by the referees. No, they didn't. Sorry. That was an amazing experience, though. The outcome could have been better. I've also never been so cold in my life. GGS, Columbus, Detroit, we got a lot of work to do. Yes, you do. So here we have a Detroit fan not being cringe. We have a Detroit fan actually not complaining about high stick and just saying, you know what? We lost. The Blue Jackets were the better team that day. So shout out to you, this Detroit fan. Thrash 94 Gaming. Shout out to you for not being cringe and complaining about a high stick. Okay? And the outcome could have been better. No, it couldn't have been. No, the Blue Jackets won. I don't know how you can get any better than that. Just saying. Let's see here. Clear home cooking in the Stadium Series. Refs choke on the whistle during a blatant high stick script on GW goal, NHL bullshit. No. They thought it was a embellishment, so that's why they didn't call it, and not home cooking. Again, you legitimately think the Blue Jackets, generally speaking, are getting calls? His ass. Goes in the books as a missed 2-minute minor. No, it does not. But one of the most worst calls I've ever seen in such a critical time in the game. Nope, you're wrong. Of course, you're cringe and you like Michigan. Good job, refs. Gifted the Stadium Series game to the Blue Jackets in a blatant high-sticking penalty. Nope. That's embarrassing to let the game determine that way. Or, you know what's embarrassing? Detroit, your defense is ass. It's horrible. That's what determined the game. You have horrible defense. Maybe play better defense and you can win. It's about time the state of Ohio wins a game in that stadium. That's sadness. When I read that.
That's a good one, though. I mean,
yes. I will give him that is a good one, but it's sadness because it's taking a shot at Ryan Day's stupid, pathetic inability to beat Michigan, and I hate that. That in a sense, the Blue Jackets are kind of getting a little lumped into this because of Ryan Day's pathetic inability to beat Michigan. But you know what? I'll kind of agree. Yes, it is nice that a team from the state of Ohio wins a game in the shoe against a Michigan team. So that team being the Blue Jackets. Oh, derp high stick. Oh, screw you, dude. Cringe. Suck off the Blue Jackets. They got dominated. I get Johnny Hockey. Larkin lost a kid too. You ever fucking mention that? Fuck you guys. Okay, you idiot. What a stupid tweet there. That's one of the things of you probably shouldn't have tweeted that. Again, you really think the Blue Jackets of all teams are getting help here? No. No one's sucking off the Blue Jackets. So let's just stop there. Okay, they got dominated. Well, your defense sucked, so I don't know. Maybe that's you getting dominated. I get Johnny Hockey, but Larkin lost a kid too. Yeah, okay. So, bro, stop. That's just bad.
Not comparing tragedies.
We're not. No.
Super poor taste.
That's super poor taste. We're not comparing a tragedy here. And it's like, yes, Dylan Larkin losing a kid is bad, but don't compare it. And
both those things are gone off. Yeah, right. Like it's just
no.
So what's a weird thing to say?
And I don't even mean this in a disrespectful way, but I don't know, getting whacked by a drunk driver, that seems worse, but that's besides the point. But don't do that. That's just no. You're being cringe. And no, we're not doing that. It's one thing to lose because of something dumb we did. Well, you did. Your defense is ass. Your defense was ass, and it gave up 5 goals. Your goalie was 800 save percentage Swiss cheese, so that's why you lose. One thing to lose because of a dirty play. Well, you didn't. No dirty plays. It's one thing to lose in a close game where we didn't get the bounces. Well, again, you didn't because your defense is awful, dug you a hole. But to lose a game because of dog shit officiating, fuck off. No, again, you didn't lose because of officiating. You lose because your defense is bad. So stop. You're not going to win when you have a negative 13 goal differential defense and your goalie's 800 save percentage. Swiss cheese. You're not going to win like that. Also, your graphic is wrong. This isn't Columbus. This is Cleveland. When Ohio State hockey played Michigan hockey in Cleveland. What are you doing
the Browns Stadium.
At the Browns Stadium. What are you doing here? You couldn't. Lazy. You absolutely could have found a picture from the Blue Jackets outdoor game with the correct picture. Like, come on, dude. Just lazy. You can't even get this right. It's the wrong picture. This is Ohio State, Michigan hockey in Cleveland. The game was played in Columbus, not Cleveland. You could have gotten the right picture there from the Blue Jackets outdoor game.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to use. Like, when I was real heavy into like writing articles, it was always hard to find a picture sometimes. Well, sometimes it was hard to fiend a picture to use, but like, why would you just use the entirely wrong game?
I just don't get this. It's bad. It's bad. Horrendous no call. Red Wings were absolutely robbed in Columbus. No, they weren't. Try again. So did Everson have to be dead for the call? Or no, Everson has to not embellish. Okay? It's pretty simple. They didn't call it because the refs thought he was embellishing. So, and here's another thing. You tell your players to not hook Justin Danforth because that led to that too. Don't hook Justin Danforth. And then you tell your other Detroit player, don't hit Justin Danforth's stick because that's why he got high sticked. He hit Justin Danforth's stick and then the stick goes up in the face. So don't do that. So if those things don't happen, he'd get the call, but those things didn't happen. So stop. Idiot. Let's see here. A nice picture from Anthony Rothman, 97.1 The Fan. His seats from the game.
See, there's how it actually looked.
Yeah. Like, this is what it actually looked like. That guy with that picture, he could have used this. Like, but he didn't. Like, come on. Anyways. But cool picture of Anthony Rothman from 97.1 The Fan from his seats at the game. How Batman of the Stadium Series to end with the missed parentheses wink win call that benefited the home team on Johnny Gaudreau night. Like, dude, screw you.
Bruh, this fan base is so used to like disappointing games from the past few seasons that like it would have still been an amazing experience whether or not Columbus lost or won.
Right.
It's very awesome and fortunate that they did win. But like there's no way that this was choreographed.
Yeah.
There's way too many people involved with everything. Way too many for not one person to blab.
Sorry. They're just stupid. Very stupid and disrespectful to say don't do that. It's dumb. Next one. Did the announcer have to say Fantilli played for Michigan every FKN time he touched the puck? Hashtag Stadium Series. He was there for 5 months, didn't win shit. Let it go. Hashtag ESPN NHL. Well, what do you know?
It's weird how Michigan, the University of Michigan, is very proud that he played there.
Yeah. What do you know? Of course, the Ohio State fan has the problem with it. Ridiculous. I get it. I like Ohio State. I don't like Michigan, but stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Just gotta beat him.
Yeah.
Just beat him.
You know,
just once. in Ryan Day's tenure.
Yeah. Like, stop. Okay. Maybe if Ohio State put more effort in their hockey team consistently, they could get guys like an Adam Fantilli to come, and then they'd be better. They'd get more better players. But, unfortunately, they're not really interested in doing that. They're okay with just being average at best and, losing out on Caden Lindstrom and other guys because your facilities are terrible. Historically, you're average at best, and you don't produce top talent. So, yes, schools like Michigan and Minnesota and other Big Ten schools are going to get top talent. So, yes, they are going to mention the announcers at the outdoor game are going to mention that Adam Fantilli went there. Because you know why? Because the Blue Jackets outdoor game was played at Ohio State with an Ohio State-Michigan theme. So, yes, Adam Fantilli playing at Michigan is going to get mentioned. So stop complaining. Seriously, I like Ohio State fans. I'm one.
Yeah.
Hefty Duck is one. But at the same time,
can you take that guy's picture off, please?
I'm sorry, but
you're good.
But stop. But I like Ohio State. Hefty Duck likes Ohio State. But at the same time, the thing that just gets me going the most is there's just some people that they freak out. They just can't get that anti-Michigan bias past them and freak out that the Blue Jackets have a Michigan guy. And it's like, stop. It's not that serious. Like all that Ohio State, Michigan stuff, you get to the Blue Jackets, it doesn't matter. We don't care. Are you a good player? Yes. Cool. We cheered for Ohio State players when they're at the Blue Jackets, and we've cheered for Michigan guys. That's just how it is. It's really not that big of a deal. Just stop. Stop.
We're getting pretty close to the end.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, screw you. That's wrong. Let's see here. Happy birthday, Ohio. Let's go. Jackets. No, they didn't get screwed. Okay, last one. I'm going to, again, we're going to defend the shoe a little bit here. So here we got this Detroit guy. It's like not trying to be a homer Michigan fan, but Ohio Stadium is hands down the worst in the nation. It's in need of serious upgrade. Well, duh. Okay, the shoe is really old. It's 100+ years old. Okay, of course it's not going to be very good. Did you just realize that? Come on, dude. Duh.
So something to think about too is that Ohio State has a very, very small window of opportunity to work on the stadium. Yeah. If you want to start a project that's going to take 4 years, you can't just do that.
Yeah.
There's football season. There's weather. Ohio, half the year they can't do shit because it's so cold out. Or maybe they can't do certain things, but during football season when school's in, they already are doing renovations. I heard they were doing something with $8 million, or I have no clue. But they have done renovations. It is modernized a little bit, but I don't doubt that there are some things that could definitely improve.
Yeah.
But that's kind of unfortunately the price you pay to have something so historic.
Yes.
Still up, still around, still in use.
Yes. The shoe, I've been there for 2 Ohio State football games and obviously the Blue Jackets outdoor game there. And it, in many ways, it's kind of old and kind of outdated. Well, that's what happens when it's 100+ years old. But at the same time, being 100+ years old can work to your advantage. It can be a beautiful place to see a game and a historic place to see a game, an iconic place to see a game. And that's what the shoe is. In some ways, it's kind of old and outdated. In some ways, being 100+ years old, it's to its benefit, its credit, it's historic, iconic, beautiful, a awesome place to see a game. So there's a little give and a little take. So I just have to call when I see this and you get dorks. You're not trying to be a homer Michigan fan. You are, but Ohio State hands down the worst in the nation. Well, it's not, but it's really old. So you know what? I'm sorry. It's not like a new modern stadium. Okay, there's gonna be some warts. There's gonna be some things about it that aren't very good. But on the flip side, there's stuff that's gonna be good about it. But that's besides the point. So there's that. There's some comments that we have. So my friend Josh says, thank you guys so much. Love you, Kevin. It's been a pleasure. Almost 20 years now. Yep, I agree with that there. It's been a pleasure. Almost 20 years knowing Josh and having a lot of fun. A lot of fun times with Josh hanging out. Richard O, did I miss the Fantilli contract prediction? Just jumped in. Yes, you did, but that's okay. Because you know why? You can go back and you can rewatch the show on Twitter and YouTube, and you can check it out, and you can see the Adam Fantilli contract prediction, and you can see what we think about it, and you can share our thoughts about what you think about that.
I can only imagine. So on our end, this is from Twitter, and it says 2:37 a.m. for Richard O. And this comment was not up earlier because we would have seen it.
Okay.
I'm really confused about this. I'm assuming like it's a VPN or something like that, and it's just like 2:37 their local time or something. That's confusing as hell to me. But yeah, you missed it.
Man, but that's okay though.
We did it like right in the middle episode too. So
yeah, that's okay though, Richard. You can go back and watch the show. It's okay. You can go back and watch it. That's okay. So there's that. I'm gonna check my bookmarks to see if there's anything else I want to share before we get out of here. Let's see here. I don't. No, I'm gonna say no. Nope. That's it for now. So, okay. So, like we always do, we did at the beginning of the show. Now we're going to do it at the beginning. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please tell your family. Please tell your friends. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. And as I always do, got to give a shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. Wish you were still here, man. But unfortunately, September 2024, you unfortunately died. Very sad and very disappointing. But love seeing you at family parties and family get-togethers and holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, and so much more. I love seeing you at family parties and family get-togethers and hanging out with you and talking hockey with you. You were a big Blackhawks guy, but the Blue Jackets became your second favorite team because of me, and that was cool, and I appreciate that. And I've told this story many times on the show, but I'll tell it again. Is in January of 2020, I did a big Ohio trip. I went to Cincinnati. I went to Columbus. I saw Blue Jackets games, an Ohio State hockey game, and I went up to Canton for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and then I drove back home to Illinois. But on my Columbus trip, the Ohio State hockey game, and at the Blue Jackets game, it was a military appreciation night actually against Carolina, and the giveaway was a blue camo hat with the Blue Jackets logo on it. And it was a cool hat. We had like 3 of them. And we gave one of them to my Uncle Doc, and he wore it a lot. He loved wearing that hat, especially at his cooking job that he had at the time, because he was a cook at a restaurant, and he'd wear his hat to his cooking job, and his fellow cooking co-workers would say, "Hey, that's a cool hat. What's that hat?" And he'd say, "Oh, it's a Blue Jackets hat for a hockey team." And Doc would tell me that they like the hat. "Oh, that's a cool hat. That's cool." So that was cool. Good to know that the Blackhawks were your first team, but I made you made a big Blue Jackets fan out of you. So thank you for that. A big Union Blue Soldier supporter because you're wearing the scarf there, and you just loved and supported everything I did, and you were just there for me and just accepted me for me, and that wasn't always the case with different people. So thank you. Shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. I wish you're still here so I could talk some hockey with you, see how you thought the Blackhawks season went and how you thought the Blue Jackets and how I thought the Blue Jackets season went and so much more. So shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. Thank you for everything.
Rest in peace, Uncle Doc.
Okay, so, like I always do, you should totally check out Uni Blue Soldiers. Check out Uni Blue Soldiers. Check out Uni Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Uni Blue Soldiers. Last thing for me before we get to Hefty Doc, he can say his things and then we can get out of here, is I did it earlier on in the show, but you should absolutely check out the next March of the Union Army, hosted by the Union Blue Soldiers. It's going to be on Monday, October 13th, 2025, starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Our bar. So join Union Blue Soldiers for their annual march. We are marching on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. This is the event that you want to go to before the Blue Jackets home opener. We get big crowds of people to come to show up and cheer on the Blue Jackets. We do chants of CBJ, let's go Jackets. There's usually a fun surprise or two there. And there'll be another fun surprise this year. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but it's going to be cool. A lot of fun stuff going on there. This March is the place to be before the Blue Jackets home opener. So check out the Blue Jackets home. You should check out the Blue Jackets home opener. But before the Blue Jackets home opener, check out the Union Blue Soldiers March that we are doing on October 13th, 2025. Our bar, 6 o'clock p.m. I'm going to show a video of different marches, and then that'll be it for me.
Dope.
So, as you can see, we have different videos from different marches that Union Blue Soldiers has done over the years. We're going to back this up here, but so as you can see, look, there's Stinger. Stinger showed up to three of our marches. So that was fun. And here we have, it was on TV back in 2019, October 2019. So you never know what's going to happen at the marches that Union Blue Soldiers does. So check out the march that Union Blue Soldiers is doing on Monday, October 13th, 2025, starting at our bar, ending at Nationwide Arena, 6 o'clock p.m. this is the event that you want to go to if you're a Blue Jackets fan. So join Union Blue Soldiers as we march on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. CBJ! 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 Let's go, Jackets! Let's go, Jackets! So, join the march. See you there, October 13th, 2025. Join Union Blue Soldiers as we're marching on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. So, that's it for me for now, and we'll get to Hefty Duck. He'll say his things, and we'll get out of here.
Hell yeah. Well, as always, big shout out to our audio listeners and everyone out there watching. If you'd like to listen to our audio, we upload the night after every single podcast, and you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple. That's anywhere we can find podcasts at. But we appreciate all of our watchers as well too. Check out our YouTube. We love everyone over on Twitter, but that's our biggest platform. But we would really like to grow our YouTube a little bit more as well too. So check it out. Links in bio. Yeah, this has been yet another episode of the Brew Jackets. I don't think I have really anything much else to say here, except for don't give a damn about the whole state of Michigan. Yeah, thanks for being here. We're going to be here, I believe, the same time, same place next week. If not, we'll make a little announcement about it if anything comes up for whatever reason. But until then, have a good week. Enjoy your summer.